Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm Boomy and today we are watching the Cryptid tier list by TierZoo. Yes, this one basically refers to like various monsters and folklore that I think this is gonna focus on like US stuff. I'm not sure if they're gonna go with like other country stuff, but I'm betting this is gonna be solely focused on the US. Based on the thumbnail, though, I'm already seeing like, uh, is that the Loch Ness monster, Bigfoot, and I don't know what the rabbit-looking thing is. So, yeah. How they scale, I don't know how they are gonna be based stat-wise against other creatures, but I'm not even sure if they're gonna be like staple characters or special characters on the outside. So I guess we'll see. So remember, if you like my reactions, don't forget to leave a like. Let me know your thoughts on the video down in the comment section below and consider subscribing. Also, don't forget to leave your suggestions on what I should check out next. That being said, let's go ahead and watch the video.
This episode is sponsored by Brilliant.
Oh, a Yeti. Okay.
If you play this game for a while, you'll eventually hear about some builds that seem really far-fetched and possibly overpowered. Builds that a lot of players will claim to have seen, but have no evidence to back it up. That's right, today we're talking about cryptids. Do they exist? And more importantly, where would they be on the tier list? If you unlock them as a playable class, would you even want to play as them? There are some where the answer is an obvious yes, and some that might be more hype than power. And there are some I've even managed to figure out how to unlock myself, so prepare for some never-before shared
that's
on
that's gonna be interesting.
As always, we'll start from the bottom of the tier list and go up from there.
The
So
rabbit
in my
is
opinion,
probably
the
bottom.
worst cryptids are the ones unlocked by taking a well-known build and afflicting them with an appearance-altering disease. One example of this is the Chupacabra. I used to think that
Chupacabra.
they'd be
Okay.
quite overpowered because of the
Yeah.
lifelink ability, until I figured out how to unlock them and saw how they really play. The legend goes that the Chupacabra, aka
Goats.
Goatsucker, can heal itself by draining the HP of its bite victims. That's a load of nonsense. To unlock the Chupacabra, what you need to do is choose a canine build on the character select screen, and then intentionally get yourself infected by mange. You can do this by
Mange.
simply being in close proximity with another player with the same
So, is that where the chupacabra came from? Just dogs with mange?
debuff, as it spreads quickly. Mange has a few effects. The first is a massive sanity debuff brought about by intense itching. The second is a sizable buff to intimidation as a result of hair loss from all the scratching. These two together unlock the Chupacabra prestige class for the Coyote. However, aside from becoming scarier, it doesn't grant any more unique abilities. In fact, I'd say the cost to your sanity greatly outweighs the intimidation bonus.
Yeah.
The same can be said about the Jackalope.
Jackalope?
Jackalope is touted as a rapid build equipped with antlers.
Okay.
Now, antlers are awesome tools, both for foraging and for defense. Their range allows you to pressure opponents from a distance, and their sharp prongs can inflict bonus damage on hit. Rabbits absolutely could benefit from having antlers, especially considering how oppressive they'd be in the raptor matchup. Unfortunately, that's not what's going on here. To play as a jackalope, you need to choose a rabbit build and then somehow acquire the Show Papilloma virus.
The what virus? Papilloma? That sounds familiar. Okay, no. Go
The
ahead.
best way to do this is to be bitten on the face by a tick player. The
Oof.
virus creates protrusions that can resemble antlers, but in reality, they're tumors.
Tumors,
So while
yeah,
the
I
aesthetics
thought
might
so.
seem fun for a while, they're cutting your playthrough short by a huge margin in most cases.
Yeah.
Next are the builds which get a lot of hype and don't have a fatal flaw, but I still don't think are necessarily top tier. The first is what I like to call the Solo Simian build. This is the general name
Sasquatch?
for rumored hominid builds like the Sasquatch,
Yeah.
Bigfoot, Yeti,
Bigfoot.
Yowie, and Abominable Snowman. They seem to be everywhere, and also nowhere.
Nowhere.
And I think there's a reason for that. Great Ape builds have
Oh,
everything
man.
in common with these solo simians except for one thing: team play. Even though this fabled character seems to have the same or possibly even higher
Stealth,
base stats
max
and abilities
stealth?
than the other apes, team
No, it
play
doesn't
is what
look like
brought
max
apes to the
stealth.
forefront of the meta. Foregoing that just seems like an objectively suboptimal play, and so I have to rate these guys lower than all the other simians. Also in this section is the Thunderbird. In my Raptor tier list,
A
I
what
discussed the
bird?
attributes that make for a strong aerial hunter, those being speed, agility, stealth, and power. Thunderbirds, being massive flying
Thunderbirds.
tanks, would not be suited to this playstyle at all. The largest playable flying birds are all scavenger types that use their large size to travel great distances easier. The largest raptor build ever to make waves in the meta was Haast's Eagle, which managed to have a commanding lead in the New Zealand meta for a solid chunk of time. However, this build was by no means a Thunderbird. It was actually smaller than modern-day Condor and Albatross builds, and so as intimidating as a cloud-sized eagle would be, I don't think it would make for a very effective build. Okay, so now that we've covered the bad and average cryptids, let's
They have a good name though. Very intimidating name.
finally get into ones I think would actually be really strong. In fact, it's my personal opinion that these cryptids are actually players who somehow avoided the sweeping bans put in place by the devs. The first one is, of course,
Eliminated everyone.
Plesiosaurs used to hold the #1 spot in the marine meta, way back during the Jurassic expansion. They
Yeah.
were much quicker and more agile than fish at the time, and since the devs hadn't introduced marine mammals to the game yet, they were totally uncontested. If
Ooh,
plesiosaurs
good
were still
lord.
playable today, they'd easily still be high tier. The tactic of using one's reach in order to attack a school of fish from afar is what made them so dominant in the past metas, and this strategy is still employed by builds like the swordfish and sawfish today.
Yeah.
In fact, one of the main arguments against the existence of the Loch Ness Monster is that they're simply too strong for the Loch server. They'd easily overpower and defeat every other player there, and eventually just end up starving because they'd have driven away the competition. If something like this build is actually playable, it's much more likely that it's an open ocean exclusive, and judging by the recent finding of a mysterious creature washing up on Georgia's shore, this seems to be the case.
Damn,
The last cryptid on our tier list today is
that was
another potential
surprising.
banhammer dodger, the jungle
It's still S tier though because of how powerful it is. Like TierZoo said, it is too powerful for the meta that it's in, basically the area. So if you contain it, the Loch Ness Monster is normally like sighted in lakes, right? So by that logic, it would be too powerful for such. It's basically the biggest fish in a very small pond. So for the build to make sense, you have to be in the open ocean. But I don't think we've heard rumors of a Loch Ness Monster looking creature like in the open ocean before, except from what, like beached?
called Mokili Membe.
Something I haven't seen
Despite the
before.
fact that the devs removed sauropod builds from the game long ago, rumor has it that Mokili Membe is a secret playable character in the river biome of the Congo jungle. This is at least mildly plausible because the vast stretches of thick rainforests and deep swamps have actually blocked human data miners from exploring the area. One reason I find this build to be more plausible than Nessie is that Mokili Membe is speculated to be using the pygmy character trait. This solves two problems at once. First, this gets around the problem I have with the Nessie build, in that they're so big and powerful that they'd annihilate all of their competition and end up starving. A
Pygmy meaning
sauropod
small?
would still be powerful, but there would still be enough loot for itself and other herbivores in the area. This also helps explain how it avoided the ban, seeing as pygmy builds often survive much longer than their full-sized counterparts, as seen with the pygmy mammoth that survived on the Aleutian Island servers up until fairly recently. Now, with that said, I've still never had the opportunity to play as this fabled character or even seen one in-game, so if any of you know how to unlock it, please share that in the comments. With the possible exception of Sasquatch, none of these cryptids really have the intelligence stats required to keep up with the current meta, and this could be contributing to why some of them have faded into legend. Don't let this happen to you. By using the link in the description, you can level up your
Yeah, guys, I'm gonna skip the ad read, but go ahead to check out brilliant.org/TierZoo. Oh man, not a lot of cryptids as I imagine. I'm pretty sure that there are more like in the category of cryptids, but they are probably now under what's the name? SCP, is that the correct term? SCP? Yeah, I think they have more cryptids there. Ooh, I should watch an SCP video. Yeah, let me know. To the three of you that are still watching this section of the video, let me know if you want me to check out an SCP video, because that is a good blend of horror and mystery, but also not real. At least not that we know of. To those of you who are still here, thank you, and let me know if you want me to check out an SCP video and which one should I start. I'm not really familiar of the whole. I know there are a lot of different stories going on around different SCPs, so yeah, I'm not really sure about everything. Of course, I know things like the Slender Man, the back rooms, Siren Head. I think that's the name. Yeah, let me know in the comments. But with regards to this video, it's very interesting. Surprisingly, one of the most famous cryptids, the Loch Ness Monster. No, not the Loch Ness. The Sasquatch, Bigfoot. Surprisingly, it was not high up, primarily because it's more akin to like a giant ape, and going solo as a primate is not a good time. And nobody would. There's probably why it's evaded people for so long, because they are not in groups. Good video, but that's gonna be it for me today, guys. Link to my Twitter is down in the description below. Go and check it out if you want to. And if you're new here and enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like. Let me know your thoughts on the video down in the comment section below, and consider subscribing. Also, don't forget to leave your suggestions. Again, give me some suggestions on what SCP I should watch if you guys want me to check it out. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!